And I know for a fact that you are listening to this podcast and you are trying to be Wonder Woman as well, aren't you? You are trying to do it all. And there are some areas in your life where doing it all isn't working. And I need you to look at those areas and think, how can I change this? How can I reduce my burnout so that I can concentrate on the things I love, the things I'm good at, the things I want to do? Because the mental load, the burnout is real, and we need our clients to have a really consistent experience. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes, because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group, where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So I don't know if you know what's been going on with me, if you've been listening in, but I've moved house and I've moved into an old property. I moved from a much older property. I moved from a 100-year-old property to a 60-year-old property. It needs a lot of work. And it's made me think about, there's the Kiwi coming at me, it's made me think about that hidden cost of doing everything yourself. Because I'm painting at the moment, and normally I would just hand that job off to somebody else. But I'm like, no, there's all of these things happening. I could do painting in my own time between everything else. But it does mean I don't have as much time for my business. Now, for me, that's okay, because I've got Angeline who's doing all my social media for me. I've got Ella who's editing this podcast, and I've now got Ella's son who's doing my SEO. And of course, I've got Jose who's doing any computer website stuff. So I've got people doing things for me in my business life. So why am I not doing that in my home life? In my other house, I had a cleaner. Now, as yet, there's absolutely no point her coming here, because the place, had the floorboards sealed. I've got a guy turning up today. He's going to turn the back door around so that it opens in the other direction. Now, I can't do that job. And maybe I could learn that job. I could learn to be a carpenter. Just like you could learn to love social media or love something that you hate. So when we're building these plans, I had the architects here the other day. All of this relates back to our businesses and how we treat ourselves when we're doing all the jobs. Because if you're anything like me, you want to be in charge of everything. You want to do everything. You want it to be you. And if it's not you, you want it to be you who's pointing everything out and telling people what to do. So if we're building every client plan from scratch, if we're starting every process from scratch, and if we're not finding these systems and figuring out how other people can work for us, how other people can write plans. I had an amazing idea for extending this house, of putting an ensuite in the third bedroom and then building a room out from that. It was a great idea. Architect came round. He was like, well, why don't you just have the old bedroom as your walk-in robe? We build the room as you want, the big room. But then on the end of that, we have like a bathroom that's more like a spa style thing. We've got this amazing garden with windows that open out from the bath. And I was like, wow, it's like a whole spa suite. And I'm like, well, I never would have thought of that. So we've got to get other people in to enhance our own ideas, to motivate us, to promote what we're doing. Because what is the invisible cost of all of this stuff? That is our mental load. I was staying awake at night thinking, how would the fit in there and all the rest of it? Do I get a draftsman to do it or a draftswoman? No, got an architect. And then this architect has come up with some wonderful ideas. So, and what he's giving me is what I like us to see and to do and to give. And that is that consistent client experience rather than that inconsistent one of when are they coming back? How much work am I going to do with them? How am I going to help them? Where do I start? What do I do? And these are the things that come up in our Monday clinical group. I've got a client coming to see me and she's got this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. She's been to the doctor and I can't get any bloods done because she's needle phobic as well. I don't know where to start. And sometimes you just need that other person to go, well, I'd start in the gut, or I'd start, what about a hair mineral analysis? Because I've got a needle phobia. At least you can get a baseline. We need to use our brilliance, don't we? We need to use our zone of genius, it's called. And that's the things that we're good at. And then we let other people do the other stuff, like the architect do the drawings to give me what it's just blown my mind idea is well ahead of my idea, because that's his zone of genius, right? So what is your zone of genius? We need to make sure we have these structures and systems in place so they just function and they just work and they just go on so that we can see our clients, so that we have that precious time with our clients that we need. I mean, I've got the Done For You program. You know about that. If you need it, if you want it, it's not expensive. And it means that you've got something to advertise. Nothing that you create or do, others can't know about it unless you promote it. Okay. Others can't know about it. And even if they know about it, they're going to have to find out about it lots of times before it'll work. So if you're creating a program or doing anything like that, generally never just happens on the first run unless you have a really good background of people, people following you, people who notice you and know you. So when we do things, we need stuff taken off our plate, right? And what do we need taken off our plate? We need the stuff we don't like taken off our plate. Actually, this gives me a really good idea for July. Oh, it's given me a really good idea for July. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've had a great idea for July. We're going to do some system work and there's going to be worksheets and everything for July. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Thanks for helping me out there. So we need to have our systems in place, and July, I'm going to help you do that. We're going to be able to work through and work out what we need. I'm going to create some stuff for you. I'm going to get Angeline to create some templates for you so that you've got a few social media posts to use. Yeah, July's going to be really cool. End of June and all of July. Can't wait. But at the moment, we're talking about taking things off our plate. That is something that we really need to do. We need to take stuff off our plate. And it's become really, really obvious to me with what I'm doing with moving house. And I am trying to do everything. I am trying to be Wonder Woman. And I know for a fact that you are listening to this podcast and you are trying to be Wonder Woman as well, aren't you? You are trying to do it all. And there are some areas in your life where doing it all isn't working. And I need you to look at those areas and think, how can I change this? How can I reduce my burnout so that I can concentrate on the things I love, the things I'm good at, the things I want to do? Because the mental load, the burnout is real. And we need our clients to have a really consistent experience. They need to start at the beginning of the process with you and work through. And how can you achieve that with them? There's all the what ifs. What if I design my own program? How are you going to do that? How much time have you got? What if I was going to do 8 weeks worth of social media programming and planning? Have you really got time to do that? Whereas Angeline could create it all for you. And then you just have to maybe post it, or she can even post it for you and it's all done. And that's off your plate so that you've got time to do something you want to do. Or maybe you want to record a video to put on your website or to send out to your clients. And Ella can just edit that for you. Easy peasy. My staff don't need you to take them on permanently. There's just an ask right at the beginning. So I get everybody to sign a form saying that your content is confidential to you. It won't be shared with anybody else. You're the only one who's sharing it and you get to keep it and that you will pay the bills. That's it. And you're going to know how much they cost because we're going to talk about it beforehand. But the girls are so efficient. They're incredible. So when we're knee deep in things, when we're worried about things, when we don't know where to start, like me, do I strip wallpaper or do I paint or do I put some clothes away or I've got the man coming to put the beading down on the floor. So should I actually be moving stuff away from the wall or will he do that? You've got so much stuff on your mind as a practitioner that sometimes you don't know whether you should be Arthur or Martha or going left or right. And we're all neurodivergent. That's why we do what we do. You run your own business, you're neurodivergent. Let's just accept that as who we are. We have a focus, we get laser focused on things and we want to achieve, but we get sidetracked and we go off and do other things. So what I really need you to think about is, what are my systems like? What is my structure like? What if I bought the program off Geraldine? What if I asked her and her staff to help me out to get me through this hump so that I can then move on from there because I've got the systems in place? What if I book in a focus call with Geraldine to find out how she can help me so that I'm not burning out like I currently am? What do you reckon? Yeah. There's a lot to think about, but you've got your headphones in. You're doing something else. Chances are right now you're driving, you're walking, you're doing something else. You're not just lying in bed listening. So that means that you're multitasking. Are you doing all of the tasks well? If it's just dishes, then yeah, you'll just be doing your dishes just as well as you would anyway with listening to a podcast. But are you trying to do something really special, really specific, and you're not really achieving it and you're listening to a podcast? It's the same thing as me trying to decorate a house myself, get plumbers out, do all the things, as well as run a business. We've got to know and we've got to understand for ourselves where our limits are, and we've got to ask for help when we need it. So it was just a reminder, because there's so much going on for me that I know stuff is going on for you. I have little children running around. I don't have that anymore. And I've got no grandchildren, but I've got a house. So to redecorate and do up and sort out and make the plumbing work, and, the electricity doesn't make any sense. And so we've just rewired and all of the things. Okay. So reach out, and let's get you sorted. Let's get some systems in place and let me give you the support and the help that you need. I'll catch up soon. See ya. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.